go in the kitchen, because I don't take my lunch every day. Most of the time I don't take lunch, so I try to compensate my nutrition level with one cup.
Thank you, Rifa. Thank you. Excellent. Can you please type in the chat box? Thanks, Rifa. So who is the next one? Please turn on your video and just move your hand, right? Wave your hand. I'd like to see who is the next person to give a presentation, right? So this is a great opportunity to present yourself in front of 30, 40 people, right? So who is the next one? Okay, so Minhas, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation? So what do you do every day?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak something in front of you. And I'm Minhaj, and I'm a student. As I'm a student, I have to work out and I have to wake up early in the morning. So I get up early in the morning from 6, and then I go to take my breakfast because I had to go for gym later. So after taking my breakfast, I go to the gym and I spend there about 1 hour of time. And after coming from the gym, I quickly go to my bath, and then after bathing myself, I go to brainstorm myself because I had to read books every day for 30 minutes. And after reading the books, I really like to go to my academic purpose, and I had to do studies on my academics, and I spend there about 3 to 4 hours, which is really persistent studies. And after studying, I like to take my lunch about on around 1 p.m. And then after taking my lunch, I like to move forward and go to my institution, which is for English learning. And after passing there for 2 to 3 hours, I come back and I write my homeworks. I write down my studies schedules. And after taking all those works down, then I.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So now the opportunity goes to Ayan. Ayan, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation? So what do you do every day?
I get up early in the morning and go to masjid to offer the Fajr prayer. And then I read Quran there. And when I come home back, I get ready for school. And then I make my breakfast with my mother. And then I go to school. In the school, when I start studying, and then when the break is, I do my lunch and do some rest. After that, I study. And when I come from school, then I do lunch and do my homework. And if I have time, I play or watch TV. At night, I go to bed and
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. So next person is Meenakshi, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation?
Hello everyone. My daily routine is I wake up early in the morning at 5 a.m. Then I go to gym, and then I come back from gym after 1 hour. Then I start some yoga, pranayam, and meditation for 30 minutes. Then I freshen up, and then I prepare some snacks for my breakfast. I usually take some idli and dosa in breakfast, and then I get ready for my office, and then I reach office by 9:30 a.m. Then I check my mails and the task assigned for the day, and in afternoon I take lunch in office canteen, and then I go to office park for walk with my colleagues, and then I come back to my
Thank you,
seat.
Meenakshi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. Can you please type in the chat box, everyone? Thank you, Meenakshi. So next one is
Thank you.
Forosh Munshi. Okay, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation?
Hello, I'm Porosh Munshi. At 6 a.m., I wake up from my
Munshi,
bed.
you got to have
And then
energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Full of energy, right? Go on.
At 6 a.m., I wake up from my bed and then I brush my teeth, also brush my mouth, and then I take my prayer. after taking my prayer, I go outside from my house and I walk for a while and I take fresh air from the nature, and then I come home and I take my breakfast. After taking my breakfast, I go to go for a tuition because I have some students, and then I teach them. And after finish my teaching, I again come home and I prepare my lessons for the next day. Also, I practice sometimes for 10 days speaking challenge, and then I take a bath. After taking bath, I al- I do my prayer, and then I take lunch. After that, I go to my bed and I sleep for a while. In the afternoon, I wake up and then I go to field. There are my friends, and there I play with my friends, and sometimes I chat with them because I have a lot of friends.
So thank you,
So
Munshi. Thank you so much. So please type in the chat box. Thank you, Munshi. So next one is Mahmouda. Can you please unmute yourself and yeah, give a presentation? So what do you do every day?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello.
Yes, we can. Just keep going.
Okay. Hello, myself, Mahmouda Turhima, and I'm a student. Thank you for your question. Now I want to tell about my daily routine. And at first, I always woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I wash my face and brush my teeth. After that, I do some exercise. Then I put my clothes and prepare my varsity preparation. Next, I have my breakfast and wait for my university's bus. 8 o'clock, I go to my university and start my classes. And then I prepare my lunchtime. I take my lunch. Then I continue my another class. And after 3 p.m., back in my home and take a rest. Next, I usually watch some TV and chat with my friends, family. Then I do my homework and also help my mothers. And last of all, at 9 o'clock, I read my study. I'm reading my study, continuing my study, and then I go to sleep. Okay, thank you.
Can you please type in the chat box? Thanks, Mahmouda. Next person. So I'm looking for last one. Who would like to get this opportunity to speak? Right. So anybody else here? Okay. So Shahnaz, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation?
Yes, I'm Shahnaz Parveen. I'm telling myself, I get up early in the morning, then I pray my Fajr namaz, then I make my breakfast and take it. Then I call my parents and I clean myself, then I ready for going office. Reach office, I check my email and start my work. In the afternoon, I pray Johar namaz and take lunch. Then I finish my work. And I came out from office. I purchased some things for my child and back my home. They reached home. I give some food my child and watch TV together.
Okay, thank you, Shahnaz. Just answer me one question. So how many times you have practiced standing in front of the mirror? The question I'm asking you. So how many times have you practiced standing in front of the mirror? Is it 2 times, 3 times, 5 times?
I have not practiced, sir.
Okay, so you got to practice. So as I requested all of you, so you need to practice at least 10 times. So now, can you please type in the chat box? How many times have you practiced? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. So Hanish said 5 times. Okay, no, you got to practice it 10 times. As many as I can. So it has to be measurable, right, Rifat? So you got to say 10 times or 5 times, whatever it is. So Jonah said 20 times. Excellent. So Bubasha said 10 times. I'd like to see. Please type in the chat box how many times have you practiced. Okay, anyway. So now today's lesson is all about how to ask question. So now, can you please type in the chat box? Do you learn English? Please type in the chat box. Do you learn English? Just I'd like to see your answer. Do you learn English? Okay. Okay, excellent. Excellent. I can see a lot of you are answering yes, yes, yes. So the answer should be yes, I do. Can you please type in the chat box? What could be the answer? Yes, comma, I do. Yes, I do. That should be your answer. So I'm asking, do you learn English? Your answer should be yes, I do, right? So that's the first thing. Type in the chat box. Okay, okay, excellent, excellent. Now I'm asking another question. Do you learn Chinese? Type in the chat box. What would be your answer? Do you learn Chinese? What would be your answer? Okay, yeah, excellent. No, I don't. No, I don't. That should be your answer. No, I don't. Okay. Okay, yeah. No, I don't. That's the answer. So see, I have asked you a question. Do you learn English? So I said you, I'm not sure whether you can see my board. Yeah, so I ask you, do you learn English? That was my question, right? So do you learn English? So you answer me, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, so now, okay, let me find out if I get another color marker. So do here. So do means nothing. So do means nothing. Basically, we use for interrogative and negative sentences. So let me repeat it. So we need do to make interrogative and negative sentences, and in these sentences, do hasn't got any meaning. So what I'm trying to say is, when we'd like to make some negative and interrogative sentences, we need do, but in that case, do hasn't got any meaning. So for example, so I asked you, do you learn Chinese? And you answered me, no, I don't, right? So that means, so this is the interrogative sentence, and this is the negative sentence, right? So for interrogative and negative sentence, we use do. Don't means do not, right? So that's the interesting thing you need to understand. So for negative and interrogative sentence, we use do, and do hasn't got any meaning at all. But we need do for making interrogative and negative sentences. That's the thing I wanted to share with you. So can you please type in the chat box? Can you please type in the chat box? We need do for interrogative and negative sentences. Type in the chat box. We need do for interrogative and negative sentences. Please write it on the chat box. I'd like to see. We need do for negative and interrogative sentences, but in these sentences, do hasn't got any meaning. Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see how many of you are typing right now. Right? Okay, let me find out your comment. Okay, so Foroshmusi said, we need do for interrogative and negative sentences, but in these sentences, do hasn't got any meaning. Yeah, that's right. Hanish said, we need do for interrogative and negative sentences, but in these sentences, do hasn't got any meaning. Excellent. We need do for interrogative and negative sentences, but in these sentences, do hasn't got any meaning. Excellent. Yeah, you got to understand this. So please type in the chat box. I said we need do for interrogative and negative sentences, but in these sentences, do hasn't got any meaning. Excellent. So that means you got it. You got it. Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see it. This is very, very important. If you don't understand it, you'll make a lot of mistakes while you are making interrogative and negative sentences. So Mahabub Alam said we need do for negative and interrogative sentences, but in this sentence, Do hasn't got any meaning. Excellent. I'd like to see everyone else comment. Please type in the chat box. I know probably some of you need a little bit more time to type it, but some of you are so fast, so you can type it and you can post it. So yeah, so the question I asked you, do you learn English? You said, yes, I do. Again, I asked you, do you learn Chinese? You said, no, I don't. So I made the sentence that's called interrogative because I asked you a question, do you learn English? Do you learn Chinese? So I used do, right? Do you learn? Okay, I'm not sure whether you can see it because the camera is there, computer is there, board is there. Okay, yeah, I think you can see. So do you learn English? So this is the interrogative sentence. We use do. And do you learn Chinese? No, I don't. So for negative sentence, we use also do. Do not, right? So do. Okay, excellent. So this is how we need to make interrogative and negative sentences. So now I'd like to take you to my boards and pull up the presentation so that you can see my presentation and you can understand it. Okay, got it. Here you go. Okay, so now, so that was the question I asked, right? So now we need to practice a little bit. How are we gonna practice? This is how, right? So now we're gonna make a lot of interrogative sentence. And how we're gonna make interrogative sentences? Basically the same thing. Can you remember in the last class we have practiced subject and verb? So I speak, we speak, you speak, you speak, they speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks, and Tony speaks. So that was the main structure, subject plus verb. And I'm gonna tell you the beauty of this structure is only using this one structure, we'll practice a lot, we'll learn English, we'll be fluent in speaking as well. Just learning one structure. What's the structure is subject plus verb. So what I'm gonna do, I'll change here and there, and this is how we'll make different types of sentences. But the structure is only one, subject plus verb. So now I would like to take you from there to here. Okay, so anyway, I'm using this and it's quicker, and that's right. So now let me wipe it out. There you go. So can you remember in the last class? So there was the structure, subject plus verb, right? So can you please type in the chat box, what are the subjects we are using? I'd like to see your comment. Please type in the chat box, what are the subjects we are using? I'd like to see. Please type in the chat box. Okay, a lot of, okay. What are the subjects we are using? Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see if you still can remember. Okay, first said I, we, you, they, he, she, Tony. Yeah, excellent. Please type in the chat box. What are the subjects we use usually? I, we, you, they, he, she, Tony. Yeah, please type in the chat box. Everyone else. I'd like to see if you can remember what are the subjects we are using, right? So now I'm using the same subject, I, we, you, they, he, she, it, and Tony. I'm not sure whether you can see. I think you can. So and verb, let's say practice, right? Okay, so this is the verb. So now what I'm gonna do, so subject plus verb is the same. So I practice, we practice, you practice, you practice, they practice, he practices, she practices, it practices, Tony practices. Now what I'm doing, I'm just putting a do. Before the subject, I'm putting a do, right? So this is how we need to make interrogative sentence. So if we make interrogative sentences, so this is the structure. So do plus subject plus verb. So this is how we need to practice. Now, I'm gonna stop the sharing screen so you can see. Okay, so this is the basic structure. So subject plus verb, I, we, you, they, he, she, Tony. So I practice, we practice, you practice, you practice, they practice, he practices, she practices, it practices, Tony practices, right? So now what I'm doing, just I'm putting an extra do because you already told me that if you'd like to make interrogative sentence, we need do. So where we're gonna put do? Before the subject, right? This is the subject. So before the subject or behind the subject, we are putting do. So now we are making sentence. Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Now, when the subject is coming like he, she, it, Tony, we use does. That's the only difference, right? Now I'm gonna share my screen so that you can watch it properly and you can we can practice it properly. So let me pull up my screen again, presentation again. So here you go. Okay, so this is how we need to practice. So basically what I'm doing is, so subject, verb, right? And I'm putting a do behind the subject. So now I'm making sentence, do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? This is how we need to practice, right? So now I'm gonna read out the sentences and then I'm gonna request you to do the same. Are you ready? If you're ready, please type in the chat box ready. I'd like to see how many people are really ready to practice with me. Okay, please type in the chat box ready. Okay, Mahbub said ready, Ayan said ready. Okay, Bhupasha said ready, Tarek said ready, Zufa said ready. Okay, excellent. So now, so listen to me first, then I'm gonna unmute yourself and you need to practice, right? So this is the structure you can see on the screen. So do I practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice? Listen again. So what I'm doing, just I'm taking extra do. Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Because can you remember we used, so he practices, she practices, it practices, Tony practices. So here instead of saying practices, I'm saying does. Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice? I know, I mean, most of you already know this, but we have got a few students probably they are starting from scratch. So for them, I'm saying this again. So for he, she, it, Tony, I'm saying does he, does she, does it, does Tony. And I'm not saying practices because I have already added sound with do. So do became does, and then I don't need to put s or es extra with practices. Did you get me? So if you understood, please type in the chat box understood. If you understood it, please type in the chat box understood. Okay, someone has said why we are using you 2 times, right? So because when I say you, only you, so you are only one, right? And when I say all of you, that means more than one, that's the plural. That's why I'm using you twice. Okay, you understood. Okay, got it. A lot of comments I'm getting. Understood. Okay, so let me clarify it one more time. So subject plus verb, that's the basic structure. But when you'd like to make integrative sentence, means question, if I'd like to ask you a question, so that's called integrative sentence. And in that case, I need to have an extra do, right? So now subject and verb. So I practice, we practice, you practice. Now I'm putting extra do here. So now the sentence is getting do I practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? So this is how I need to practice, right? So now I need a volunteer, if I can see. So Minhas, can you please unmute yourself and can you please give me a lot of sentences?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
So, do I practice?
Mhm.
Do we practice?
Mhm.
Do you practice? Do they practice? Do he practice?
Okay.
Does he practice?
Okay. Mhm.
Does she practice?
Mhm.
Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent. Can you please type in the chat box? Thanks, Minhas. Okay, so I need another volunteer. So Hanish, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent. Thank you. Can you please type in the chat box? Thanks, Hanish. Now, Israt Sumaya, can you please unmute yourself and give me all the sentences?
Yes. Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent, excellent. Now, can you remember how we practice? So I'm going to request you to unmute yourself. You need to unmute. Then I'm going to say, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. And all of you got to give me all the sentences, right? So now, are you ready? If you are ready, please type in the chat box, ready. I'd like to see how many of you are really excited to practice with me. Okay, okay, okay. Excellent, excellent. Excellent. So please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Do I practice? Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice?
She practice. Does she practice?
Does
Tony
Tony
practice?
practice?
Does he
Does
practice?
it
Do I
practice?
practice? Do we practice? Do you practice?
Okay, thank you. I can see here 34 people, but I have seen you didn't unmute yourself. So probably around 20 people, because you know this is the very, very beautiful software. So I can what is called I can see you what you are doing, whether you are practicing or not. So once I request you to practice, all you got to do, you need to unmute yourself and then you need to practice. So once you unmute yourself, I can see the mic is vibrating, right? And if you don't practice, it's not vibrating. So I can see. So if you don't practice, how are you gonna be fluent, right? So if you'd like to be a good speaker, you have to speak. And by practicing, you are speaking. So can you remember? Okay, now my question is, can you ride bicycle? Type in the chat box, yes or no. Can you ride bicycle? Okay, a lot of students, they are saying, yeah, they can ride bicycle. Okay, so, okay, if you don't know how to ride bicycle, that's fine as well. That's fine as well. So can you remember? So when you start riding bicycle, what happens? So you give a try, you fall down, then you jump in, again you give a try, again you fall down, again you try, again you fall down. This is how. This is how. So all of a sudden, you start pedaling and you don't fall down. You just keep pedaling and you just keep riding cycle, riding, riding, and riding. So this is the language. This is the same way you need to practice. So now I know, a lot of you can't speak English fluently. If I give you the topic to speak 2-3 minutes, probably you won't be able to. What I'm trying to do, just I'm pushing you to ride the bicycle. I know you're gonna fall down, you're gonna stop. Again, you need to jump in. Again, you're gonna fall down. Again, you need to jump in. Again, you're gonna fall down. And all of a sudden, you will start speaking and you never ever stop. So that's the situation that's the moment I'm waiting for. And it happened to my life as well. So when I started learning English, first of all, I was struggling a lot to make even a sentence, right? So then I started making sentence. Then I started practicing. Then I started speaking loudly, and I shut the door. Then I started reading loudly even. Then I started imagining that, well, if I can speak like 3-4 hours, right? And then what should I do? Then I started thinking. And then one of my mentor, can you remember? I told you. So if you're struggling something, if you need to do something, achieve something, so you're gonna go someone else who has done it before. So I went to the language teacher and he said, you got to do this. And that's the secret I'm sharing with you. So when I request you to practice, when I instruct you to practice, you got to do it. If you don't do it, you won't be a good speaker, right? So now I'm gonna unmute yourself again. And all I want from you is give me all the sentences using one breath loudly. And all you got to do, you need to unmute yourself. And I'd like to see that every mic is vibrating and you are speaking, right? So are you ready? Can you please type in the chat box, ready? I'd like to see how many people are ready. I'd like to see how many people are ready. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Do I practice?
Do I practice? Do you practice? Do we practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she
practice, does he practice?
Tony
He
practice.
practice, do we practice? He practice, do we practice? Do you practice?
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. So now I know you have done well this time. So this is the thing I'd like to request you again. So this time we're gonna try. This is the challenge for you. So you got to give me all the sentences using one breath. How many breaths you gonna take? Please type in the chat box. How many breaths? Yeah, one. So you need to take a long breath before that, right? Then you need to give me all the sentences using one breath. So ready? So please unmute yourself. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start.
Do I practice?
I practice, do you practice? Do you practice?
I practice.
Does he practice? Does he practice?
Does
He
Tony
practice.
practice?
Does he practice? Does Tony practice? Does I practice? Does we practice? Does you practice? Does
Thank you. Thank you. So now I know still, I mean, a few of you haven't practiced it very well. What's going to happen next? I'm going to share it with you right now. So when I'm going to invite you in a breakout room and I'm going to give you a topic and you got to ask this question, you will see you will struggle. You'll say, do you, you'll struggle, right? So if you'd like to ask the question smartly, you got to practice this. And this is not only just during the class. So once you finish the class, right, during your leisure time, or if you have scheduled something to learn English, you need to practice it. So once you practice it time and again, can you remember? And probably you have seen some sort of scenario. So you are sitting in the class, some of you are struggling a lot to ask a question, and some of you just you are keep asking questions. So how did you do it? Why did you do it? When did you do it? So where did you do it? So what's the reason you did it? Tell me this and that. You keep asking the question. And some of you, is it the right sentence to ask? So what should I use? You know, when it happens when you don't practice a lot. So if you practice this structure a lot, at the end of this class, I'm gonna guarantee you'll just fire yourself. You'll keep asking the question, people, in English, not in your mother tongue. In English, you're gonna ask the question time and again. So now this is the golden opportunity to practice with me for the last time, this structure. So I'm gonna request you again, please unmute yourself. And when I say go, you need to give me all the sentences, ready? So please unmute yourself, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start.
Do I
practice?
Do you practice? Do you practice?
Do you practice? Do they
practice?
practice?
Do we
Does
practice?
he
Do you
practice?
practice?
Does he
Does
practice?
he
Does
practice?
he
Does she
practice?
practice? Does you practice? Do I practice? Do you practice? Do you practice?
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now I need a volunteer. And this time I'd like to see how many of you can make it in one breath. So Babu SRM, can you please unmute yourself?
Do I practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent, excellent. Please type in the chat box. Thanks, Babu. Okay, so now I would like to see another one. So Maisha Sharkar, can you please unmute yourself?
Do I practice? Do you practice? Do we practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does he practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent, excellent. Please mute yourself. Noreen, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes. Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. So next one is, okay, it's moving so fast. So Vlanki Kisho, can you please unmute yourself? Okay, Uzefa, can you please unmute yourself?
Do I practice? Do we practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. So now, excellent. So that means you have practiced a lot. So now I'd like to, okay. So I think I should give you a homework. So the homework is, at your home, can you please deliver all the sentences twice using one breath? So you're gonna take one breath and you're gonna make all the sentences 2 times. Can you please type in the chat box how many times you're gonna make all the sentences using one breath? How many times? Can you please type in the chat box? So twice, I mean 2 times. Yeah. So this is how you need to practice. So if you practice this way, you will see how fluent you are, especially asking question, right? So now I'd like to give you a homework. This is the first homework, so you need to practice it twice in one breath. And the next homework I'd like to give is this one. What does your favorite person do every day? So before that, I have got a question. So who is your favorite person? Type in the chat box. Who is your favorite person? Can you please type in the chat box? Who is your favorite person? Type in the chat box. Okay, so say my mother. Mahmoud said my mother. Uziba said my father. Okay, my daughter. Okay, so for the sake of practicing, just say one. I know it's really difficult to say mother or father, but for the sake of practice, just say one of the persons, right? Mother or father, just one person. Okay, who is your favorite person? Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so I'm glad Tariqul, you said Hassan Habib sir. Okay, okay, excellent. So now I'd like to. So now this is the homework. So what does your third person do every day? So you got to categorize in 3 parts. So in the morning, so if your favorite person is mother, you should say, hey everyone, my name is Hassan Habib, and today I'd like to give a presentation about my mother. What does she do every day? She gets up early in the morning. So write down. Please type in the chat box. So should I say get up or gets up? Type in the chat box. Get up or gets up? What should I say? Yeah, gets up. So should I say goes or go? My mother, then I would say she, then go or goes. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. So makes breakfast or make breakfast? What should I say? Make or makes? Okay, okay, excellent, excellent. She takes care of us or she take care of us? What should I say? Take care or takes care? Okay, okay, excellent. So this is the thing. Now I'm gonna give you the opportunity to speak inside the breakout room. Who is excited? Please type in the chat box, excited. Are you really, really excited to speak about your favorite person right now? Please type in the chat box, excited. I'd like to say how many of you are really, really excited. Type in the chat box, excited. Okay, okay, so now I will. Okay, so this is the homework. Please make sure that you submit your homework by tomorrow. So your homework, you got to practice it 10 times in front of the mirror. You need to say 30 activities. What does your third person do or your favorite person do every day? And you need to record this video or audio and you need to put it into Ielts and study the group. Okay, so before going to the breakout room, I'd like to ask a question. Can you still remember what are the rewards I have announced for this challenge? If you can remember. So what are the rewards you will get from this 10-day challenge? Type in the chat box. What are the rewards? Still you can remember that if you finish the 10-day challenge, if you perform very well, okay, so what are the rewards? So someone said certification, okay, that's right. Anything else? Anything else apart from certificate? So you're gonna have a class with this tip if you finish 10-day challenge, right? If you submit your homework. So class with Steve, right? So that's the thing. Okay, and said free Ielts course, which is worth of 20,000 taka. Excellent. Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna find out the best performer from this course, from this 10-day challenge, who will attend 10 days, who will submit their homework on time, and who will perform better. So this is the gift that we're gonna give from us. You're gonna win IELTS preparation course. It's completely free. The course fee, the general course fee is £200 or equivalent to 20,000 taka or equivalent to rupee. So you're gonna get it. So first of all, you're gonna get certificate if you finish this course successfully. Second thing is you're gonna get certificate, and the third thing is you're gonna get IELTS course free. These are the three rewards. Now, what's the punishment? If you are a loser, not winner, what's the punishment? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. So if you don't complete it successfully, what's the punishment you're gonna get? I'd like to see. What is the punishment you're gonna get if you don't complete this course successfully? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. Still, if you can remember. Yeah, that's right. So £20 are equivalent to your own currency you got to feed to the poor. That's the punishment, right? So okay. Okay, please type in the chat box. I'd like to see what's the punishment. Okay, excellent. You got it. Now I'm gonna still you can remember what is the reward and what's the punishment. Okay, excellent. So now I'm gonna take you to the breakout room and I'm gonna give you the opportunity. The question is, what does your third person do every day? Can you please type in the chat box? What's the question? So if your favorite person is mother, so what does my mother do every day? Type in the chat box the question. What does my father do every day? So please type in the chat box your question. So you need to add your favorite person. For example, if it is your sister, what does my sister do every day? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. Okay. Okay. So Fatima said, what does my mother do every day? What does my, okay. Okay. Type in the chat box. Okay. Now, this is the golden opportunity to speak about what does your third person do every day. So now I'm gonna invite you to the breakout room. So 30. Okay, so your breakout room is ready. Please, when you see that you are invited, click to join the room, right? Just you need to click. And warning, don't leave the room. You will come in the main session automatically. Don't click any button. So once you go to the room, stay there, practice. Don't speak any other language apart from English. I know you will make a lot of mistakes. Here you go. I'm going to share another story. So I have been living in the UK for, I think, 11 years right now. Still, I make a lot of mistakes. Who's going to give a shit, right? Still, this is not my mother tongue. So I would encourage you to speak more, make more mistakes. Once you start speaking, you will see after a certain period of time, you are not making any mistakes. So if you are really, really afraid of mistakes, you can't speak. You can't speak, right? So what would be our main intention is speak more and make more mistakes. And after a certain period of time, it will be okay, right? So now I'm going to invite you to the breakout room right now. So please click to join the room right now. 3, 2, 1, go, click and join the room. So the question is, what does your favorite person do every day? Go, 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 go. Don't wait here. Please join the room and start speaking.
morning at 5 a.m. Then she brush up and freshen up, and then she go to the
Still, I can see here 6 people are waiting. So, Babu, can you please unmute yourself and please share with me what happened? So, Babu Erasem, SRM, can you please unmute yourself? Okay, Minhas, can you please unmute yourself? Okay, Burhan and Jamal, who is speaking here?
Nothing to say in this room. Our room have no person.
Okay, I can see Semahar is here. Semahar, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Okay, Burhan, can you please give a presentation? So, what does your favorite person do every day?
Okay, just I
Okay.
will do in my all day. First, I wake up and then I will go to bathroom and wash my face and brush my teeth. Then
The lunch, she washed the dishes, and she helped.
Belanki Kishore, can you please unmute yourself? Okay, so we can practice here. So I'm gonna unmute all of you here. So you need to give a presentation one by one. So what does your third person do or favorite person do every day, right? So I'm unmuting all of you. So just you can unmute yourself and give a presentation. So by this time, just I'll visit a few room.
in this year, I want to prepare myself for the Ielts exam so that I
Thank God. I also did. And Hassan Habibsar is also good person, and he provides this class with us, and Chile, and actually she is.
Maisha Sharkar, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Can you please give a presentation? So what does your favorite person do every day?
My favorite person, my mother, is it is good person, and he woke up 3 a.m. and he offer Tahajjud Namaz after that. He prepares breakfast for us, and he every day was a lot of work, and sometimes he spend time with us, and he always suggests me how I improve my everything, and how I improve my study. He teach me, and he motivation me every side, and I proud of my mother. He is the one best of my mother. That's it.
Okay, thank you. So, Maisha, what you need to do, you need to practice it 10 times, and you need to make sure that it's 30 activities you are telling, right? So it's better, I mean, if you write a presentation, something like this, hi everyone, I'm under to share with you what my mother does every day. So now you need to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Once you see more than 30 activities, then you should give a presentation standing in front of the mirror. So this is how I need to practice, okay? So now I'm waiting for another person to come back. So Sanjay, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
So what
I want to talk about
okay.
Hello.
Okay, let me mute all of you. Otherwise, we're gonna get a lot of background sound. Okay, so now, okay, so who is ready to give a presentation? What does your favorite person do every day? Please turn on your video. And yeah, so mic is yours. Who is ready? Turn on your video. What does your third person do every day? Or what does your favorite person do every day? So Minhas would like to hear from you. Please unmute yourself and give your presentation.
So thank you for giving me the opportunity to say something about my favorite person. And one of my favorite person in my life who inspire me a lot is my mother, because she does everything for her family. Because like I would like to mention here, she cooks meals for 3 times a day, and not only that, she also does a lot of extra works to make us motivated in her daily life. Like she teaches us responsibilities and teaches us how to be modest and how to be kind-hearted with the people we are dealing. And from this, we can really learn a lot how to behave with other people and to how to be honest with your responsibilities. Because she always suggests me that if you don't really struggle in your life, and if you don't really be in a honest way towards your destination, then you never gonna be succeed in your life. So that's the motivation I get every day from my mother about being a real person in your life and being motivated through your works and be honest with your works. So that's all about my mother.
Okay, thanks for sharing that, Minhas. So do you think you have mentioned 30 activities?
Yeah, 30 questions, but I'm really newbie in this conversation.
Okay,
I have just joined today.
Got it. So this is your first class?
Yeah, that's my first class.
Okay, excellent. You have done really well. So I would request you, please make a list. So what does she do every day? At least 30 activities, and give a presentation standing in front of the mirror. And so I think the group you have joined, you will get a Facebook group link as well. So join the Facebook group and give a presentation. Just make a video, upload there, and you will get a lot of feedback from your classmates, colleagues, and from me as well, right? So who is the next one to give a presentation? What does your favorite person do every day, right? Okay, so would like to hear from Donna. I think she's from Philippines. Donna, can you please unmute yourself and give a presentation? So What does your favorite person do every day?
Yeah. My mother gets up early morning, and because she is old now, she cannot prepare our food, and she always have a headache because of her age, and she is laid down all after gets up, and then he always lay down. I'm sorry, sir, I'm not ready.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for trying. Yeah, excellent. So now, I'd like to ask you a question. So how many of you are in our Facebook group? So if you are in the Facebook group, please type in the chat box yes. And if you are not, please type in the chat box no. I'd like to see. How many of you are in our Facebook group? Okay, so I have got here like 15, 20. Okay, so the Facebook group is Ielts and Study in the UK. Can you please type in the chat box Ielts and Study in the UK, just to remember. Ielts and Study in the UK. That's the name of our Facebook group. So all you got to do, yeah, please type in the chat box Ielts and Study in the UK. So let's see if I can give you a link as well. Okay. Ielts and Study in the UK. Okay. So now I'm putting the link here. So if you, once you finish this class, don't leave. Just click there, and just you will be taken to the Facebook group. And from there, so you will find a lot of classmates, friends over there. And I would recommend you, please upload your homework. And also, I would request you, please watch at least 5 videos. So upload your one and watch 5 videos. So what's going to happen is, once you see that, well, someone has done very well, and someone has used some sort of different types of vocabulary, someone has got, very good accent, someone pronounced the word differently. So it's going to help you, it's going to inspire you to do better in speaking. So now I'm going to, remind you the last story. Can you remember? I told you. So when I was in Bangladesh, I was jobless, and I think we had 5 or 6 people. We got together, and one of my friends ordered tea and coffee as well. So we are having tea and coffee. So 2 of them were engineers. So they used to work for telephone company, right? Software engineers. One of them was civil engineer, and I was, unemployed, jobless. I had a lot of tension, what I'm gonna do. But one thing I learned from that sitting is peer pressure. Peer means, you can say, friend. So I started thinking, well, he's an engineer. He's earning more than a lakh. He's another engineer. He's a civil engineer. He has got like government job, and I am unemployed, right? And that inspired me to do something better in my life. So this is called peer pressure. So if you join the Facebook group, and if you upload your video, and if you just watch 3, 4, 5 videos, and if you comment excellent, awesome, you have done very well, outstanding performance. So if you just inspire one another or each other, it's gonna help all together, all of you. So I would request you, please join the Facebook group and inspire each other, because you don't know. And I'm gonna share with you another story. So why I'm utilizing this thing, because I learned it hard way. So one day I was taking a course, and that was expensive from UK, one of the internet marketer. So he requested us to join a Facebook group in the like-minded people, same community. And I joined there, and then I met, now he's my best friend. His name is Dr. Javed Iqbal. He's from Pakistan. but he lives in UK as well, London. So what happened is, so we have joined that group, and all of a sudden I saw we are like-minded. So he used to, teach in Huddersfield University. He was a professor, basically. He has got PhD, and I'm working in education industry. So we are helping students to get into the UK universities, and we are helping with Ielts and developing their English skill as well. So can you see that? So that is sparks. And then one day I asked him, so can we just, sit together and meet? And he said, yeah, of course, why not? Then we went there and we had a tea coffee over there, had a chat for a long time. And now we became such a friend. So his family, his wife, son, daughter, they visit my family, and I, vice versa. I go and I visit them as well. So this is how, probably, in this group. So you'll be peer, and I know you came this, you joined this group to develop English, and everyone has got the same intention. So probably you're gonna, comment each other, and one day you're gonna say, well, can I get your WhatsApp number as well, or can we talk probably 1 hour more every day? Job done, right? So you have got someone else who has got, a strong desire to develop their speaking English, speak fluently, and he or she, offered you, can we chat for 1 hour to speak English? And you said yes. But this is weird. If you say for the first day that, can I get your number and can I speak English with you? Can I practice? And you can say, no, I think he has got different intention. Did you get me? But if you, for 10-day challenge, if you comment each other, if you see he or she is very good at speaking, and if you'd like to practice with him or her, and if you practice, if you comment every day, if you inspire, motivate, oh, outstanding, you are speaking very well, you have done really well, you are serious. And then one day if you say, hi, I'm this group as well, I'm enjoying the class with you. What if, we can schedule 30 minutes every day to speak with you? Yeah, sure, why not? Can I get your WhatsApp number, please? Yes, you can. Or Facebook ID? Yes, you can. So now we have started speaking. And think about this. So probably these 10 days, probably next 30 days, probably next 2 months, 3 months, you are speaking. Probably you are doing IELTS with us. And you are getting, 6 or more than 6, and you are coming to the UK probably together, right? So that's how, just imagine how that would be cool. So I would request you and recommend you, please join the Facebook group right now and upload your homework, comment each other, excellent, awesome, you have done really well. And this is how we're gonna develop and improve our speaking English together. So thank you very much for joining today's class. Okay, someone said I didn't find the second day's video. Well, I was lazy, right? I'm gonna upload second and third video today, and I'm gonna put into the Facebook group as well. By the way, so if you miss first and second class, you can get it on the Facebook group as well. So all you got to do, you got to scroll down or up, and you will find from Hassle-Free Education, because that's our brand, the link from YouTube, and you can enjoy the class. So thanks for joining today. Make sure you submit your homework tomorrow, and I'm really excited to watch your video. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.